So the Gaza, the Israel agreement is, as we said, peace deal number 8 for President Trump. So which one will be number 9? And how will the president get that one done?
If you look at the people running is Russia, Ukraine, I think we'll do that too. We've a lot of reasons for them to do it. And I think they'll be coming to the table pretty soon. But this is the biggest of them all. This is a big one. Although I think India and Pakistan is very big. 2 nuclear nations. I did that based on trade and because of the tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, you wouldn't have been able to do it. But I said, if you guys are going to fight, I'm putting 100% tariffs on each of you. And they immediately stopped fighting.
That's the power of the purse. Here with me now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Mr. Secretary, thanks for joining us. There's already sanctions on Russia. The president urged all the NATO countries to place tariffs on China if it continues to buy Russian oil. What more can we do financially to put the squeeze on Russia here?
Laura, good to be with you. And we're doing a lot on Russia, but the real culprits here have been China and India in terms of buying Russian oil. They are keeping the Russian war machine going, and we put a 25% Russian oil tariff on India. And I think soon we're going to see a rebalancing where they're buying less Russian oil, more American oil. And if we were to do the same thing on China, I think the war would end quickly, but we need our NATO or European allies to join us. It's sources and uses, and the source of the Russian money is this oil, and China's the leading buyer.
So it's ag and oil. And do you think, in your estimation, you've run all the numbers, would this war be possible now were it not for China and India's involvement in those purchases?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
so they're
not.
Keeping the war going.
They're keeping the war going. But as I said, it's my strong belief that India is going to start rebalancing over the next few weeks and months, and we will see a diminishment of Russian oil in favor of U.S. oil.
Explain to our viewers what is going on with Argentina, because the U.S. Treasury today directly purchased Argentine pesos and finalized this $20 billion currency swap framework with Argentina's central bank. So the intent, I guess, is to provide assistance from the Latin American country's economic turmoil. It's clear how Argentina benefits from this deal. What do we get out of it?
We get a lot out of it. Argentina is a beacon in Latin America. President Milei has done the right thing. He is trying to break 100 years of a bad cycle in Argentina. He is also a great ally for the U.S. He'll be coming to the Oval Office next Tuesday, and he is committed to getting China out of Argentina. They're all over the place in Latin America. And when people say to me, how is this not America first? I'll tell you why it's not. Do you want to be shooting at more gunboats like in Venezuela? We do not want a failed state.
So this isn't a bailout?
Sorry, it's not a bailout at all. There's no money being transferred. The ESF has never lost money. It's not going to lose money here. I was in the investment business, mostly currencies, for 40 years. You're supposed to buy low, sell high, and the Argentine peso is undervalued. We're going to have an election in Argentina the 26th of this month. We think President Milei will do quite well, and he is putting the Peronist path behind them. And people in the U.S., especially on the left, they are willing to, Senator Warren tried to put a bill in front of the Senate that the Exchange Stabilization Fund could not bail out Argentina, which I think is rich because she's an American Peronist. Don't cry for me, Massachusetts. And when Joe Biden was in office, what was their idea of foreign aid? It was circumcisions in Malawi and drag shows in Central America. So we are going to use Argentina as an example. We back up our allies, and the Obama administration missed a big opportunity in the 8 years he was in, as many Latin American governments went center-right. So we are seeing Argentina, Paraguay, Ecuador, Bolivia, I think Colombia in the next election. So it is
This is key for us. China is all over Central America, Latin America, Mexico, South America. It's critical that we maintain really good relations and that these are strong economic capitalist systems, is it not?
It is. And we also saw China put on more rare earth export controls last night, and Argentina is rich in rare earths and rich in uranium, and I think they are committed to U.S. private companies coming in and being good partners with them.
So China's trying to put more export controls on minerals, rare earths, heavy rare earths, heavy and medium rare earths, some other things, related technologies. That's their usual leverage play before the big trade negotiations, correct?
Well, that and holding the American soybean farmers hostage. They politicized these soybean purchases, and most of them have gone to Brazil. And we're not going to let that happen. And I believe that the Chinese will have to come back at the end of the season and buy soybeans. But in the meantime,
why don't I just give $20 billion to the farmers, and why have that, give them that leverage at all in those deals?
Well, we would have made an announcement this week if it weren't for the government shutdown. If Chuck Schumer would end the Schumer shutdown, we would have announced an ag program to bridge our farmers until the next season, and that will be through direct subsidies and through the Farm Credit Bureau, because it's important that our farmers get credit for next year's planting season.
Food security. Your old friend Jamie Dimon had some comments about where the stock market might be going. This is what he said.
I am far more worried about that than others. So if you said, I'm talking about probabilities, I would give it a higher probability than I think is probably priced in the market and by others. No. So if the market's pricing in 10%, I would say it's more like 30. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
a correction.
Yeah, and I'm not saying next year. Because the timing of these things is almost impossible to figure out.
All right, Mr. Secretary, this is a game. We hear these guys on this stuff all the time, but 10%, 30%, what do we take away from that?
Well, what Jamie Dimon has learned on Wall Street, there are two things you're never supposed to do at the same time: predict the price and the timing. So he's saying we're going to go down. He doesn't say when. Could it be 2028? Could it be next month? We don't know. But what this administration is doing is laying solid economic ground, and under President Trump's leadership, Wall Street and Main Street can both do well. Obviously, if you're the CEO of the world's largest or America's largest bank, what you care about is Wall Street, and we care about both.
Main Street and Wall Street. All these people naysayers, are they shorting the market? I don't think so. Mr. Secretary, great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Good to see you.
We can't wait to follow what happens in Korea coming up in a couple weeks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.